In the heart of an abandoned carnival, where the echoes of laughter had long since faded, a storm brewed overhead. Thunder rumbled ominously as dark clouds gathered, casting a shadow over the dilapidated attractions. Among the twisted rides and broken mirrors, two notorious figures prepared for a showdown that would be whispered about for ages: the Leprechaun, a cunning creature of folklore, and Chucky, the infamous doll possessed by a vengeful spirit. The Leprechaun stood at the center of the carnival, his emerald suit bright against the dull backdrop of rust and decay. His eyes glinted with mischief, and a pot of gold shimmered at his feet. He had heard rumors of Chucky's quest for his treasure, and he was ready to defend what was rightfully his. Chucky, with his stitched-up face and wicked grin, emerged from the shadows, brandishing his knife. "I've come for your gold, you little green freak. Hand it over, or I'll make you wish you had," he spat, his voice dripping with malice. The Leprechaun chuckled, a low, mocking sound. "You think you can take my gold, doll? You'll find that I'm not so easy to scare." With a flick of his wrist, he conjured a blinding flash of green light, sending a barrage of sparkly coins flying toward Chucky. Chucky ducked and rolled, narrowly avoiding the glittering attack. "Nice try, but I'm not just some toy you can play with." He lunged forward, knife aimed for the Leprechaun's heart. The two clashed in a whirlwind of motion. The Leprechaun was quick, using his agility to dodge Chucky's slashes while retaliating with bursts of magic. Each time Chucky got close, the Leprechaun would conjure illusions, causing the doll to strike at shadows while the real Leprechaun slipped away. "Is that all you've got?" Chucky taunted, frustration mounting. He grabbed a rusty pipe from the ground, wielding it like a club. With a primal roar, he charged at the Leprechaun, swinging the pipe with all his might. The Leprechaun sidestepped at the last moment, but the swing was powerful enough to send debris flying. "You're tougher than you look, but I'm just getting started," he shouted, summoning a whirlwind of green energy that surrounded him, giving him a temporary boost. Chucky, undeterred, lunged through the swirling magic, his knife poised to strike. Just as he reached the Leprechaun, the creature unleashed a surge of energy that sent Chucky tumbling backward, crashing into the remnants of a carnival game. "Get up, you little bastard!" Chucky growled, shaking off the daze. He could feel the adrenaline coursing through him, fueling his rage. The Leprechaun watched with a smirk, but he knew this fight was far from over. They locked eyes, both breathing heavily, the atmosphere charged with tension. Chucky rushed forward again, this time with a newfound determination. He slashed wildly, forcing the Leprechaun to backpedal. With each swipe, the Leprechaun conjured barriers of magic, but Chucky was relentless. In a desperate move, the Leprechaun summoned a horde of mischievous sprites to swarm around Chucky, hoping to distract him. "Take that," he shouted, watching as the tiny creatures tugged at Chucky's limbs. But Chucky was a force of chaos himself. He slashed through the sprites, his knife glinting as he fought his way toward the Leprechaun. "You think some fairy dust can stop me? I'm Chucky," he roared, finally breaking through the swarm. With a swift motion, Chucky lunged forward, catching the Leprechaun off guard. The knife plunged deep into the Leprechaun's side, and the creature gasped, his eyes wide with shock. "No, it can't end like this," he cried, staggering back. But the Leprechaun was not finished yet. With a final burst of will, he summoned all his power, creating a storm of green energy that swirled around him. "I'll take you down with me," he screamed, sending a shockwave that knocked Chucky off his feet. Chucky struggled to rise, blood trickling from the wound in his side, but he pressed forward. "You're not getting rid of me that easily," he shouted, determination fueling his every move. As the storm raged, the two adversaries met again in a final confrontation. Chucky, fueled by rage and desperation, lunged one last time, while the Leprechaun, weakened but defiant, summoned a powerful blast of magic. They collided, the impact sending ripples through the air. In that fateful moment, the energy exploded around them, illuminating the dark carnival. When the dust settled, silence fell over the scene. Chucky lay sprawled on the ground, his knife clutched tightly in his hand, while the leprechaun gasped for breath, a pained expression on his face. With a weak smile, the leprechaun looked at Chucky. "You fought well, doll. But greed always comes with a price." And with a final breath, the leprechaun's body went limp, the light fading from his eyes. Chucky, victorious but battered, felt the weight of his actions settle in. He had claimed the leprechaun's gold, but it had cost him dearly. Bloodied and bruised, he crawled over to the leprechaun's pot of gold, knowing he'd never be able to enjoy it. As the storm cleared, the carnival stood eerily silent, a testament to the fierce battle that had just unfolded. Chucky, the doll of death, had survived, but the victory felt hollow. The curse of their battle would linger, a reminder that in the world of the cursed, every victory came with a heavy price.